Hey everybody, this is Dan. This is a week 3 update video for spring 2015. This week is our last chapter before our first test next week. So chapter 3 is what we're doing this week. And this is on doing some things with basic descriptive statistics, measure of center, variation, box plots, things like that. There's some great videos here, and one I want to highlight for sure is the StatCrunch tour. And we're going to use StatCrunch extensively in this course. And this is the first chapter where it's really going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. So I strongly encourage you to watch this video that my colleague Joel Overton created about how to use StatCrunch to do things like find standard deviation and the quartiles and things like that. There is one discussion here about just computing your pulse rates, and I do have the standard normal tables linked here. So when I click that, that pulls up the positive and negative z-score. So we're really amping it up this week with discussion of the normal distribution, finding z-scores, and then next week is our first exam over chapters 1 through 3. So I would really encourage you to get the chapter 3 homework done as early as possible this week. You're going to need extra time based on how well you grasp this thing called the z-score and other things. And then once you get through that, I would go under course content, and after this chapter's 1 through 3 folders, it says textbook and review materials. This will give you a really good idea of what you're going to have in this first exam. So right here I've got link to the standard normal tables, which you'll have for your first exam, and here's the formula sheet for the first exam. It's very basic. This is calculating mean. This is calculating standard deviation. And there is one problem on the exam where you'll have to do this by hand with a small set of numbers. There's the z-score formula, and then here's the basic things. You can find range, interquartile range, upper and lower fence. And just to kind of make sure you know all those things, I would encourage you to go under sample tests and solutions from previous semesters here. So if you actually go into fall 2014, I've got the actual exam linked here, so you can take a look at what was on the exam. I've got solutions written out for this test as well, so you can check yourself to see if you understand those. And then lastly, I've actually made a video. So here's the answers to those. Kind of shows you how to do them. And then right here is a link to a video of me talking through these solutions.
This is Dan, and this is a test.
So I would encourage you to tackle some of those later this week. You don't need to take your test until the end of next week, and I'll be communicating with your proctors at your schools about that. Be emailing the test out to them. They'll print it for you, and then you'll take it, and they'll either scan it and email it back to me, or send it back to me through the mail. So that's what we're doing this week. So we got quite a bit, really knocking out chapters 1 through 3 here. Again, in this chapter 3 content, go through all the learning objects, do the homework, do the discussion board, and then start cranking on, getting your studying for your exam. This chapter 1 through 3 textbook review materials. And yes, you'll have that formula sheet and the z-tables with your first exam. So typically students do very well in this first test. If you've been keeping up and doing everything, that's great. There's actually some review exercises you can do here for fun. These aren't graded or anything. And remember, if you're not sure about anything in your homework this week, I'd really like to see a few people shoot me a few questions. And then if I get some of those, I'll write them up and put them here in this FAQ discussion board. So I could post some write-ups of some of the standard normal z tables. So I think everybody's fully underway, and I'm looking forward to our first exam next week. Contact me if you have any questions.